Hey, what's up everybody? I am headed back up to my property to keep working on that log shed. Decided to leave this evening instead of in the morning because I'm not much of a morning person. I'm afraid I'll sleep in. And I want to make sure I get a good night's sleep because I have a long drive. So I'm going up now. I'll camp at the lake, get up at 8, head up the hill, and then get to work. See you then. Hey, I'm about to call it a night. It's about 11:30 p.m. I am parked over here by the shore of the lake. It's a great view. I can't wait to show it to you in the morning. I do have generator sounds over here. There's not too many people here parked, but they're working on the dam. But I got a nice cool breeze here. I took a lot of night photos. Hopefully some of those come out good, so I'll share those with you too. But good night. I'll see you in the morning. Check this out. Well, good morning. I'm headed to Starbucks. Gonna kick off my day with that, and then I'll head up the hill and start getting to work on more logs. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do today. I need to choose a place to build the cabin. I think that's important. So I might scout that out today, strip the logs. I did not get to sharpen my scraper, so I'm gonna do that when I'm there. I did look up YouTube videos, and hopefully I'll get it sharp enough using a different technique. I got my chainsaw working this last weekend. I took it home, and you know what it was? It was the fuel line. The fuel line eroded, and it basically tore off. So it was never going to start without a fuel line. So I was able to pull more fuel line out of the gas tank and use that instead. And I got it running better than it did before. I mean, the thing has more power. I cleaned out the carburetor, cleaned up everything, the filter, and it runs great again, like new. So I'm looking forward to using that today. I might fell my first tree. We'll see. I have one picked out in mind. It's a smaller one just to get started. This is what I'm looking for right here. Some hand tools. Manual labor. Go get me one of these. Some chisels. Alright, well that was fun. I stopped by this trading post right here, and they have a swap meet, it looks like, every weekend when I'm up here. And I found a lot of old hand tools, logging tools. They didn't have everything, but I found some things that I needed, and after I use them, I will hang them up in the cabin as a souvenir. So I got me some hand drills that I can use to make holes in case I want to use dowels to hold the logs together. And less power tools, manual work. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to it, and it's great that this thing is right here. They had old saws. The only thing it didn't have is enough chisels that I needed when I do the saddle notches. So let's go ahead and head back up the hill right now. It's 9 o'clock, so I'll get up there around 9:30 and figure out what I'm going to do today. So see you then. ordered this Logox here to help me out. It's used for turning logs and also picking up firewood, short logs like this, so you don't hurt your back that much. Makes it much easier. Has a handlebar right here for more leverage, so I can install this and then I should be able to roll logs over much easier than pushing. I think I might need the handle. See what happens without the handle. Oh yeah, see, I can turn it without the handle easily. This is going to make my life much easier because I'll be out here for a while. Alright, so I cleaned up my chainsaw. Got a new spark plug, even though this one was okay. Just an extra part. The fuel line was broken from probably leaving fuel in it and storing it that way. It eroded, and that's why it wouldn't start last time. So there was no way I would have got it started without fixing that fuel line. So it's all fixed. I cleaned the carburetor out. I cleaned the air filter and cleaned up inside all around it, and it runs a lot better now. Better than it was before, so it's stronger. All right, let's start by talking about safety, because that's really important to me. Remember, health and safety, security. Safety is second. It's the second reason why most of us die is because of accidents. So let's talk about that first, and what I'm doing here, and what equipment I have, and how I'm going to be safe about it. First of all, your gear, your clothing. Make sure you tuck in all your loose clothing. I have these here. They're safety pants for chainsaw and sharp objects. I got steel toe boots this time, which I feel a lot better about. Just as comfortable as the hiking boots, but they're steel toe. Glasses, a hat, but I also have gloves. And this, when I actually do the cutting, has ear protection, face protection, and head protection. I need a long sleeve work shirt that is breathable. I haven't found one yet. I'm still looking for that, but that's what I don't have. Next thing is make sure you remove all your jewelry. You don't want your jewelry to get snagged up on anything. Besides that, let's go over how to cut logs. This is everything I've learned from YouTube. I'm not that experienced, but I'm going through these steps for every log I cut just to get into the habit of it for safety. It might not look dangerous to a lot of you, and it doesn't look that dangerous to me, but I still want to go through these steps to make sure I get in the habit of evaluating the log, and the angles, and the pivot points, and everything that needs to be looked at before you cut the log. Alright, first, you need an escape route. So when you cut this log, you need to be able to run and book it before it falls or before it rolls. So first you determine where you're going to cut, right? So this is laying right here in a downhill, so you never want to cut on the downhill slope. You want to cut on the upper side. So I'll be cutting from this side right here, because this log is likely to roll that way after it's cut. So after you determine where you're going to cut and what side you're going to be on, you look for an escape route. So for me, it's going to be behind me. So you want to clear any brush, any debris. You don't want to trip over anything. Oops, like I'm doing. So right here, I probably want to rake all that up. Make sure I can run far enough away without tripping. So that'll be my escape route right here. Okay. Second thing is, look for any pivot points. Now, if there was a tree right here in the middle, resting up against this log, as soon as you cut that and release that pressure, it can swing and hit you if you're standing on the wrong side. So look for any pivot points. I don't see any on this log. The tree is at the end of it. So the pivot point would be actually at the end of this log, and it would swing this way and roll this way. Okay? So make sure you check that out. I'll give you a better example when I find one, but this one doesn't have too much. Now another thing is how far it's going to roll. Now there's a stump right here that will stop it from rolling right here too far, but if I cut it here, this side right here will roll and probably hit against that tree, which is fine. I have a way to stop it right there. But if I wanted to stop it from rolling at all while I do my cutting, I will get some wedges like that and wedge this log so that it doesn't roll. So I can find some wood over here, some timber, and just wedge it in between here and make sure it doesn't roll. All right. Okay. Next thing is, while you're cutting, you don't want to cut into the dirt. So you need to get a way to have a way to cut down on this log all the way down without getting your chainsaw in the dirt. So what I do is I get my pickaxe and I'll dig underneath the log if I can and create a hole underneath it. To me, that's the best way to do it, because if you don't have a gap underneath the log, it's going to hit the dirt one way or another, unless you lift the log. Now that's another thing you do, is lift the log up. And it depends on how heavy it is and where my first cut's going to be. If my first cut's going to be on this end, this is pretty heavy, it's going to be on that end, then I could probably lift the tip over there up with my Logox, or even by my hands, and then put it on top of another log or something. That'll raise it up. All right, so now if it's raised up or sitting there, and there is if it's in the air and you're cutting on top, it can pinch this way. It can fall and pinch your chainsaw blade and get your chainsaw stuck. So in order to avoid that, you can either cut 90 degrees down vertically, come in halfway, and then rotate your saw and cut down, or you can get some wedges and wedge the gap at the top, and it'll keep it from going in at the top, so that way you can get your chainsaw all the way down. That'll only work if the log's thick enough so that you can leave your chainsaw in. If the log's not thick enough, then of course the wedge will hit your chainsaw and maybe kick out. So gotta think about that. Probably missing some things. I mean, like I said, this is new to me. I'm getting experience. I have a lot of knowledge from watching YouTube and reading up about it, but I'm applying my knowledge now, so we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this right here. I might be able to get 2 pieces. It looks like I might get 1 if I go 14 feet. I need 14-foot logs because I want a foot overhang on each side of the cabin. So the longest side is going to be 12 foot long, and I want a foot overhang. So I'm going to measure this and figure out where I'm going to cut it, and then dig my hole underneath the log. I have my escape route cleared out, all the branches. So just be aware of your surroundings at all times, and check other trees out that are next to it to see if there's anything else that may be a hazard to you. Like this one right here. Look at this. This right here is just leaning against this tree right here. So this one has this might fall right here. I'll show you. You see that root right here from this log, and then if you look, so see this tree, this root right here, which is applying pressure down onto the ground, which may be helping this tree stay up from falling. Now it's leaning against another tree right there. That's the only thing keeping it from falling, is that tree right there, some of these logs, and this root right here that is holding some of the roots down on the ground. So when I cut this right there, it's going to relieve some of that pressure on this root. Will it be enough to make this tree fall? I have to evaluate that, and which direction will it fall. Well, it's not going to fall to the right. It'll either fall to the left, because there's a lot of branches that are holding it on the right. So it's clearing. It looks like the clearing is to the left. If it falls, I might take down the one next to it. So what I have to do is think about that, and when I cut this completely through, half of this log is going to roll, relieve pressure on this, and maybe relieve least enough to make those 2 trees fall. We'll see. But either way, what I want to do is make sure I have an escape route when I cut and run back this way as far as I can. Get out of the way. All right, so let's measure this and go ahead and start cutting. All right, that tree held up right there. This will taste like a barbecue pulled pork sandwich. Okay. Cheese to it. Check that out. Well, I got good news and bad news. Bad news is that I forgot my sharpener for this. I wanted to sharpen it more, but now I can't. Good news is that I think it's sharp enough. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use this and scrape the rest of the logs right here, and then debark those last 2 that I made today, and see how it goes. Till 5. Then it's kind of windy. It wasn't so windy because I want to cook on the scuttle. I want to make that chorizo in there. And just the wind just doesn't make anything fun. Decided I am not going to be cooking. It's too windy. I don't want to fight with the scuttle right now. It's getting too hot. I'm just going to make me a PB J sandwich. Cut myself, my first injury. I took a big old chunk of skin off from the edge of the bucket actually while I was getting peanut butter out. There's a sharp edge from that lid, and it hit it. I gotta wait for it to stop bleeding now. So yeah, that sucks. I do have a first aid kit. I'll look and see if I can put a bandage on it. Rather eat here and then lock everything up, put it back in the bins, airtight containers, so that I don't have a smell of food when I go camp out here in the wilderness. Oh, that felt good. Man, first time taking a shower out in the wilderness. I could look up and see all the trees in the sky. Hot, hot shower. I can make it as hot as I want. And it lasted. That was about maybe 4 gallons of water. And I took about a 5-minute shower. Perfect. I love that thing. So I'll talk to you about this project in a bit. But well, let's go over it. Let me show you what I made here. That's the ultimate portable shower that you can take anywhere. All I did was use some conduit right here, electrical conduit with a 90-degree angle. It fits on this telescoping painter's pole. I cut off the screw at the end, and then I made the female connector on this 90-degree elbow fit perfect right there. So I just take this off and store it inside my cab. Take these 2 pieces off. If I needed it shorter, I could cut this. I could put another coupler here if I need it shorter to store even shorter. So all you need. Right here, I have 2 couplers at the end for this. So this goes away. Then these just slide out. Roll them up, fold them up, whatever, just throw them in your tent gear or some bag, right? This one didn't get too wet, but it did get wet. I like how big it is too. The ones I was looking at for sale, they go anywhere from $250 to $300. It mounts to your rooftop rack. Well, look what I did. 2 telescoping tent poles. I attached it right there with some straps. I'm going to change those to better straps. I don't like the metal on metal, but for now, that's what I came up with. So for telescoping poles, you turn it tight and it stays out. Turn it this way. Bam. And then make sure you just turn it like that so it doesn't fall back out. Turn it so it tightens. Done. Easy. I like things easy and affordable. So I think those were 15 bucks each for those poles. So it's 30 bucks. And I got the conduit, let's say another 10 bucks for all the connectors. It's 40 bucks for that. Maybe it was Ross. 5 bucks each. I just need 2 of them and it fit perfectly. So the shower curtain and the enclosure is 4 foot out by 5 foot long. So 4 foot wide by 5 foot long. And I love it because I can open my doors from the inside. I can open this one. I have access to my cab while I'm in here showering. So I feel more secure that way if I have to jump in the cab. But I can also put all my stuff here that I need to change. I can sit down. It would be nice to have a little waterproof chair right here. I could have just grabbed the bucket and put the bucket here that I have. But check this out now. This portable shower. So I bought this Gasland portable water heater, and I wanted to make it as portable as possible. And every YouTube channel that I looked at, they were using dollies or they were lugging this around with a big 5-gallon propane tank, water pump, and everything else. And I was like, no, that's not too portable. I don't want to lug all that stuff around. Has to be easy. Oh, and also you need a water source. So then they had a bucket. So they had a bucket for water, a dolly for this, a propane tank, a water pump. So you need all those 3 to make this thing work. So I decided, well, if I put it in a cooler, then I have my water source. If I change it to one of these propane tanks, I have a small propane tank right here that I can lug around with it. All you have to do is get an adapter that connects to that. Water pumps. Now, just so you know, I didn't get this right the first try, but I went and bought several different coolers. They wouldn't fit. I got different toolboxes. This thing wouldn't fit. I needed something that opened this way. See how it opens this way? Well, I had to change it. It used to open this way. I had to change it so it opens vertically. I changed it by putting hinges here. You have to have strong hinges in order to support this. This isn't that heavy. I'd say about 10 pounds. Now the water pumps, I ordered a few of them, and I went the route that everyone else was going too, but I said, you know what, I don't want to carry around a pump, a battery to operate that pump and everything. So this is an all-in-one battery rechargeable water pump, and it works great. It lasts for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I ran this thing full time for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and it supplies full pressure until it quits. So that will last a while before you have to recharge it. It takes like 2 to 3 hours to recharge it. No problem. You can plug it in a cigarette lighter or something like that, USB. These are waterproof cases, right? So I decided I want to lug everything together. So I bought these waterproof cases at Walmart. I just happened to find these, and it fits a propane tank perfectly. I also have extra gear in here. So what I do is I store extra parts and accessories here that I need. For example, the wrench to put on this right here. What I want to do is get a quick connect right here, quick disconnect for here, so I can disconnect it from the water here fast. That's what I did with the with the hoses here. I have quick disconnects. Makes it a lot easier. See, I got it for this too, the shower nozzle. I got an extra propane tank, which I know I won't need, and I've got a bunch of extra parts. Like this bungee right here is in case this arm is a little weak and I need to secure it back to a back of a tree or something. This is the USB adapter to charge the water pump. And then I've got a bunch of just connections, Teflon tape in case it leaks. A bunch of these washers, because these things will fall out, and I've lost like 5 of them already by just disconnecting and trying things out. These things fall out easily, so you need the smaller ones for the shower connectors, and then you also need the ones for the hose. So make sure you get both of those, store them in here, and you're good to go. These are waterproof, so you just lock it down. Has a seal around it. Now, oh, let me put this back. Okay. This cooler is perfect. It fits the water heater perfectly. Now, because I have this adapter here, you can't unscrew it here, otherwise it'll just leak gas. You have to unscrew it from here because it's an adapter and it doesn't have a shutoff valve. See? So that has a automatic shut-off pressure valve right there that shuts off the gas. If you use an adapter right here, it doesn't. So you have to disconnect it from here. Alright, so now, because I don't want to get this wet, I'm going to get a cover for this. I'm sure they sell covers that I can screw on and it'll block it, either for this one or this one. And that way I don't have to disconnect this every time. I don't want it getting wet, so I'm going to disconnect it. Disconnect it. Just one simple turn of the wrench and it's off of here. So this fits in there like that. And then what I did was I bought a smaller propane hose at Lowe's, I think, because the one that comes with this heater, that's gas line, is very long and it would not curl up in here. So you have to have a smaller one in order to fit everything in this, or you just won't fit it. Let's put it in here like so. Okay, seal it. Oh, forgot the wrench. Okay. Alright, now you see there's a little bit of water in there. That's easy to remove because all there is just a plug behind this cooler. You just pop it open and it drains. I bought this foam sheet right here, this foam pad at Lowe's or Home Depot, and I just cut it to size so I could fit everything in here without it moving around. See? So this could stay in water. It's waterproof. That's no problem. These right here, I have cutouts, so they fit in there and they don't move around. Okay. So this cooler just works perfectly for this setup. You could take this thing to the beach. I have so many ideas for it. Arm right here, just unscrews so it lowers. Bam. And then everything's secure in there. I could put it back. Yeah, so let me know what you think. If you have any other ideas, these right here, I can probably fit in there. Alright, I knew it would fit in there. So I have the shower curtain in here too. There we go. Nice, portable. Don't have to carry around everything separately. I'm not going to be long. Let's go for a little hike before it gets too dark. We got about a half hour left of daylight. I see a trail that way, so let's check it out. This is a really steep incline. I chose to go up the trail instead of down. So I don't know where I'm at, but I like it. Little trees. That's cool. These are little Christmas trees. I'm gonna have to research what type of tree this is with these types of leaves or needles. Wow. Batteries on this thing never seem to connect properly. So to fix it, you always have to redo the batteries. Okay, let's see if it's on motion. Should be on motion. Come on, work. It's not gonna work for me, is it? It's not gonna work. Yeah, let me change the batteries out. I brought a bunch of them. All right, let's test out the camp guard that I have on the tailgate. The light will go on when I get close enough. This is pretty right here. So if you get this close, the light will go on. Oh, my last video, I think I shared, maybe I didn't share, but the reason why I turn these like this is because when it gets windy, if you have it straight, these things vibrate and move around. Just something about the aerodynamics of it or something, but these will vibrate and it'll vibrate the tent, and you can feel it and you can hear it. It you know, it's noisy too. So what you do to solve that problem, if you have a rooftop tent or anything like this, is you turn it till you get a spiral like that, and then you attach it, and that will stop it from vibrating and making sounds. All right, I figured that out just by giving it a try. All right, well, I'm off going back to the property, but first I see some bottles, not too many, that I'm going to clean up, because I want to make sure I keep the wilderness nature clutter free. There are some litter bugs everywhere you go, so I'm going to pick up a few of these bottles to take with me. I have a trash bucket right here that I use, and then I'm going to head back down this Forest Service road back here and see if there's any other places I can camp. I'm going to scout the area. That's what I like to do every time I come up. I go and scout for the next location. So finish that and then I'll get back to work over there. Today I'm going to strip the 4 logs that I have left, and I'm going to see if there's a tree that I could fell for the first time. So that's going to be exciting. My first time ever felling a tree. Just FYI, you don't want to roll boulders like this off the side, because then you might hit a tree and might cause a domino effect. So I'm just going to roll it over here. All right, enough exploring. It's time to get to work. It's going on 10. So I'll see ya. All right, here's what I got going on today. I did these yesterday, these 4. I've got 4 more to do. Doesn't look like much, but it takes me about 30 minutes per log. These are 14 feet, those are 8. Because I have to turn it like 4 times and start from the top again. Now, these are different trees right here. I thought it was Douglas fir because of the bark, but it's not. It has leaves like this, or needles like this, which are like a fan. So if anybody knows what it is, if it's some type of cypress tree, but look at it, it grows straight and tall. We've got quite a few of them here. These right here are pine trees, and I'm assuming it's white pine. We've got a lot of those. So these are the 2 types of trees that we have here that I'm going to be using. While I was going through stuff, I found my sharpening stone, my puck here. It was really hard to see in the other box. It was black and it was on the bottom. So I found it. So now what I'm going to do is sharpen my draw shave knife. So my draw knife. I was doing it the right way, but I wasn't sharpening the back of it. So we need to sharpen the back of it too. I'm going to take this up there by the water, sharpen this for about 15 minutes, and then see if it's easier to use. Looks like I'm going to have to cut this piece off right here. I have to go down it 2 more times. Well, it's break time, and there's no wind at all. Nice and cool today. Partly cloudy. Perfect day to barbecue. So I'm going to break out the scuttle and cook up the chorizo and tofu and cheese. Probably make it with some bread, but take advantage of it right now. Perfect. right, all I've got is half a log here and then that one over there. Well, I have a question for any of you that have experience doing this type of thing. Would you strip all of the brown off of it or leave some? Because this log has a lot of character. You can see right here, I like all these knots and different patterns and stuff, even though sometimes the bugs put them in there. But look at this, knots and stuff, twists and turns. I like the way it looks, and if I try to strip off all the brown, it's going to get rid of that. I like the way it looks kind of with some of the brown on it, but what's the common practice? Do you strip it until it's completely white, or do you leave some on it? And then after this, what do you do to treat it before you stack them, before you build your cabin? Need to know those things. I need to research before I get to that point. But if you have any answers to that, let me know, or any tips, suggestions. All right, that's it. I'm done for today. I was going to fell that tree today if I had time. It's not that I don't have time, it's that I'm tired. And I think it's better to do it when I'm more focused and I have energy. So I'll save that for next weekend, because all I want to do right now is pack up and start heading home. Got that long drive. You know what? I almost forgot to try this out. I bought this at the trading post down in the town. And I want to try it out, so let's pick the end of a log that I have to cut off so I don't mess up anything. So right here, here's a broken log at the end, so I'm going to try this thing out. So I plan on using it, and let's see how hard this is or how easy. Okay, so if I want to like put a dowel in here, this is my first time using one of these, so I'm probably not doing it right. I probably have a better technique because I'm wobbling it a little bit, but it works. It's an antique tool right here. There we go. So I can use this to put holes in logs, put a dowel in there to either hang something up in the inside, or I have bigger drill bits. I didn't tighten this enough. So I have bigger drill bits I bought, and then if I go all the way through, or not all the way through, let's say it was loose. So let's say I go halfway through, maybe halfway through this, and I can put it down there and use that to put the logs together. If I want to do it this way by hand, we'll see. But I definitely intend on using this thing for this project, and then afterwards I'll hang them up and I'll find some more antique old tools that they used by hand. I'll go to that trading post. They have a lot more stuff to choose from, but I just picked up this, and I picked up about 4 other bits, different sizes. So don't need it yet, but I'm gonna hang on to it when I do. All right, so until next weekend, hopefully I come back up here. Stay healthy, stay safe, and just keep prepping.